Hello, my friends. I am so happy to see you again for our Sunday school lesson. I hope that you're having a great summer so far and that you're doing a lot of fun things. I, as always, am very excited about today's lesson because we are going to talk about something that is very important. And I think when I open up my purple box in just a second and I show you what's inside, I think that you might know right away what we are going to learn about today. If you don't, that's okay too, because I will explain it to you. But in here today, in our purple wonder box, there is a picture of something. And the picture that we're going to see is a picture that when we see it, we know that it stands for a specific word. Like if we see a picture of a heart, we know that it stands for love. If we see a picture of a cross, we know that it's a reminder of how Jesus died for us so that he could, save us from our sins and let us know that we are always forgiven. The picture in here today, though, is a little bit different. So let's go ahead and open up our purple box and see what picture is inside. I always love this part. Ooh, in our purple box, we have a purple picture. A very simple little picture. I'm going to hold it up and I want you to see if you know what it means. If you see this picture and you know what it means, I want you to scream the word that it stands for at the top of your lungs. Are you ready? This picture. Have you seen that before? What does this picture mean? Do you know? Kind of looks like a bird's foot to me. Like a little claw, but it's not a little claw. This is what we call a peace sign. A peace sign. And it helps us remember what peace is. So in our Sunday school lesson today, we are going to hear a story from the Old Testament of the Bible. A story from a long, long time ago where something bad was kind of happening. And it wasn't the best situation, but somebody took time to show peace to somebody else, and our story ends up being happy. So let's listen to our story. Now, our story today does not have any pictures. It is actually not in my Bible storybook that I have. So what I want you to do is get comfy, and I want you to listen carefully to this story, okay? So a long, long time ago in the Old Testament, we have a character, a person named David. Do you know anybody named David? I know a couple Davids. Anyways, this is a David from a long time ago. David was on the run. That means he was running away from something, okay? And in this case, he was running away from a king. He's trying to get away from this person that doesn't agree with him, okay? So he's running away. He's tired, he's hungry, he's hot, I'm sure, just very exhausted. So while David and his men are on the run, all of a sudden they come across a field of sheep. And if you see sheep, that might mean that maybe there's a farm nearby, maybe some shepherds nearby, okay? So after they see these sheep, they find out that the sheep have an owner, and the man who owns the sheep, his name is Nabal. Can you say Nabal? Nabal. So we have David running away, and then he comes across Nabal and his sheep, okay? Well, I guess a long time ago, same as today, if somebody is lost and wandering around, the nice thing to do is to help them and take them in and give them food and give them a shower and a place to rest, okay? And that is what they did a long time ago in the Old Testament as well. Normally people would welcome you and help you, but this man, Nabal, he is not known to be a nice man. He's known to be very mean, okay? So David and his men that are running, they greet Nabal very kindly, very peacefully when they meet him. They treat him very well. Nabal, he's not nice, and he decides he's not going to help these people that are on the run. That is just so horrible. If somebody was tired and exhausted and hungry, what would you do? Would you help them? Would you feed them? I bet that you would. But this man, Nabal, he decided he wasn't going to help, okay? Well, luckily, Nabal had a wife, and her name was Abigail. And even though Nabal was not a nice man, his wife Abigail wanted to help these men. She had a loving and a peaceful heart, okay? So whenever Nabal was mean to the men, when someone's mean to you, what do you want to do to them sometimes? You kind of want to be mean back, right? So David thinks, well, since this Nabal guy is mean to us, we should be mean to him back. And when people are mean to each other, what does that cause? That starts a fight, right? And we don't want to have any fights, okay? So after Abigail comes along and decides that she is going to help the men, David and his men decide they're not going to fight Nabal, okay? Because somebody ended up helping them after all. So where Nabal was very mean and very angry and did not want to help anybody, Abigail, his wife, was very kind and loving and peaceful. So when we think about how Jesus wants us to be, do you think Jesus wants us to be like Nabal? Does he want us to be angry and mean and unwelcoming toward others? Or does he want us to be like Abigail? Who would you pick to be like, Nabal or Abigail? I think Abigail. When we are kind to others, it works out so much better in the long run. So you want to be welcoming, you want to show peace and love to all. Now we're going to do a little movement activity right now to help us remember how we should act when we are feeling angry or upset. Because remember, if something is upsetting us, we want to try and be like Abigail. We want to be calm and welcoming and peaceful, even though it might be hard, okay? So what I want you to do, we're going to go through this 2 different times. I want you to repeat after me, and as I say the words, I also want you to be paying attention to what I'm doing with my hands and my feet. I'll give you little hints about my feet since you can't see them, okay? So we're going to start out by saying, what do you do when you feel mad? Can you say that back to me? We're going to say it again. I want you to cross your arms over your chest, okay? Act like you're angry. So we're going to say, what do you do when you feel mad? Say it. What do you do when you feel mad? Good job. Do you stomp your feet? You stomp your feet? Say, do you stomp your feet? Do you stomp your feet? And refuse to eat? And refuse to eat? Cover your mouth. Or do you take a deep breath? Can you say that? Do you take a deep breath? Do you walk away? Ooh, sorry for my sneeze. You walk away? Okay, so say, do you walk away? And find a quiet place to pray. Say it back. And find a quiet place to pray. Good job. Now, those are good reminders. The beginning of that activity tells us things that we might want to do when we're feeling mad. We might cross our chest, kind of go like this. I bet you've done that before. You might stomp your feet because you're angry, or you might cover your mouth and refuse to eat. Maybe if your parents made something that you didn't want, you might cover your mouth. We should never do that though, okay? So sometimes when we're mad, we cross our chest, we stomp our feet, we refuse to eat. But what should we do? We should do what is in the second part where it says, take a deep breath, or you can walk away, or you can find a quiet place to pray. So when we are feeling those bad feelings, we want to try and kind of switch it around and do something that's more helpful. So instead of being mad like Nabal, we're going to be peaceful and calm like Abigail. So let's go through that one more time. What do you do when you feel mad? Go like this. Do you stomp your feet? Stomp your feet. And refuse to eat? Or do you take a deep breath? Do you walk away? Can you walk away? Or do you find a quiet place to pray? Awesome. awesome job.
Now, I want to show you something really cool here. These things that you see in this picture are called peace poles. You can tell it looks like a pole, but there are special words written on it. So on all of these peace poles, you will see the words, "May peace prevail on earth." That means may peace go on, and may peace be spread all over the earth. And these are really neat too because they're all different colors, and they also say may peace prevail on earth in different languages. So it is a great reminder to everyone to be peaceful and loving instead of angry and mad. So for your craft today, what you are going to do is decorate your own peace pole. If you look at the picture here, you can see the skinny thing in the middle of the page looks a lot like the same shape of the peace bowls that we just looked at. So what you're going to do is decorate your peace pole however you want. You can make it your favorite colors. You can draw hearts and crosses and butterflies or anything on there that makes you happy and makes you feel peaceful. At the bottom of the page, you see a little quote. It says, "I am a peacemaker." And that's a good reminder for you to be someone who makes and spreads peace throughout the world. I know you can do it.
Now, before we finish up today, I want to remind you to go check out the link for this week's music lesson with Reverend Donathan. It's always a great time singing and listening to the music with him. Now, will you pray with me before we go? Go ahead and put your hands together and bow your head and repeat after me. Dear God, help me show love and peace instead of being angry and mad. And a big amen. Amen. Have a great week.